We live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Changeling the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William Orshani, and I am your storyteller for this Changeling the Lost Second Edition Chronicle. And joining me today, we have Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I am playing Cassandra Scott, the elemental polychromatic.
And Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Jackson Montgomery or Marlena Dubois, who is a Ferris Chatelaine.
And Austin.
Hey, I'm Austin. I'm playing Frank and Lisa, who are a bunch of things that a functional brain would remember right now.
Beast Kin, Lethapomp, Polychromatic.
Yep.
Pain in the
See,
ass.
functional brain. There we go.
And
Contrarian.
I see we're choosing to stretch that definition.
And Frisian. Trevian. It's going to happen every single time.
Ian.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Maybe. What was that about functional brain? So I'm
We're
Drevian.
stretching the
Overrated.
So I'm Frisian. I'm Drevian. I play Frisian, the Darkling Hunterheart. It's slightly better. We finished the Call of Cthulhu game, so I have one less character that ends in Ian.
Are you? Did you make sure not to name your next
I was about
character
to say,
for the
does your
Tal'Dorei game?
does your Tal'Dorei character end in Ian?
No, their name is Tenebrous.
Good.
Okay.
Tenebressian, right?
What was that, Jeremy?
Tenebressian, right?
Maybe. We'll see. The game hasn't started yet. I could change it.
You could.
Middle name is
absolutely
Ian.
could.
I'm just saying, if you name your character something that sounds like it was inspired by an Argento film, I'm going to come into it with certain expectations.
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am playing Joe Arbor, who is an elemental notary, and I am the very definition of stretching what a functional brain looks like.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich.
Fuck Vince McMahon.
I guess be concerned about the future possibilities of war on the horizon, because that's continuing to become more dangerous as we start to attempt to recreate the diplomatic situation around World War One.
Just embrace the Kubrickianness of this all.
Why?
I do not remember the attribution of the quote, but the line comes to mind. I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
That was Albert Einstein.
I was gonna say, I know the quote. I didn't know. Okay.
I'm fairly certain that's Einstein.
I mean, it's probably attributed somewhere. It's probably attributed to like several different people on the internet somewhere. So, I mean,
Something fluoride.
But when last we left off, the group had received some unsettling news that in regards to a potential uptick in active and aggressive vampire activity, the individual agents that make up the hunter organizations have arranged to bring additional operatives down into the Knoxville area to try and gain ground on dealing with this potential incoming threat. Problem being that Tyr, at least, the one hunter that all of you know, does not think that's a good thing for the lives and safety of any non-violent supernaturals in the area. And has been working with the rest of their organization to try and minimize impact, or at least try and keep the other hunters from being aware of just how many changelings, at least, there are in the area, to try and help prevent them from being hunted down for sport in the process of trying to deal with the vampires. On top of
Don't
this,
become lunch.
A tense conversation, we'll call it, between Bellona and Amy Briarios, the vampiric realtor that two of the Motley were looking to acquire houses from, revealed that the vampires that seem to have been performing this uptick of activity likely come from some organization of vampires that is known to be aggressive and dangerous from south of the border. So with that in mind, it seems likely that the city of Knoxville may come under quite a bit of crossfire in the coming days, or nights, as it were. And we pick up there. I believe the last line that was said before the session cut last week was, I don't think any of us want to be outside at night and run into Ashwood Abbey.
Who said that?
That was Tyr.
Okay.
Are we still at the house
Picking
that
up
I
exactly
just
where we
bought?
left off, yep.
Okay.
Do we hunker down and stay here? Then
I mean, she kind of looks over at Amy. I imagine that you don't exactly trust trying to hold out overnight down here, and I imagine you've got places to be, particularly to find your safe place to sleep. And I think it would, I don't know why he's Southern for right now. And I think it would probably be a good idea for everybody to not be obvious with what they're with drawing attention, but they're not here yet. So tonight we can go about our business. Just we're gonna want to be careful in coming days.
Does that mean that we need to stay away from the commons, or?
Like I said, I'm doing my best to try and make sure that the incoming hunters don't know anything about any changeling activity. As far as we are concerned, there are no changelings here for them to ask us about.
Right.
But
I'm asking. I don't have a particular need to go to the commons. I just wanted to get parameters, as it were.
I don't know. Now, Dollywood's a very high population center. There would be someone trying to check out around there at some point.
Stay away from Dollywood. Stay away from the commons.
we might need to. We might need to think about setting up internal communications so that we can pick a new location to meet at in case we have to have a whole freehold meeting.
Right. Now, how we?
And yeah, I mean,
How many are we looking at here?
How many what?
that depends on how much of a party the Abbey feels like having. If it was just If it was someone more reasonable, I'd expect 2, maybe 3 teams, which would be a dozen, maybe 2 people. If the Abbey decides to make a game of it or a show of it, they could send 50 to 100 maniacs down here and say, go find monsters.
Oh, Zeus's beard, we're fucked. Cassandra's gonna straighten for a minute and turn to look at Amy. My husband gave you some very, very good intel. I think maybe you and I can work out an arrangement based on that.
Yeah, I think, all things considered, it's probably a good idea for those of us who walk the shadows in Knoxville to try and be amicable with each other until this storm blows over.
I know this is fairly optimistic and maybe a little bit naive, but how big of a storm, how long of a storm are we in for?
Well, if there are as many individual humans coming down as your spouse indicates, and there are indeed a number of Sabbat moving into the city, the Sabbat don't move in small numbers either. This could be an all-out war in the nighttime streets.
And that's just going to be it. That's going to be it permanently.
Till someone gives up or kills everyone on the other side.
All right, then. I have an idea. For our protection and yours, she'll hold out a hand.
I don't shake until I know the terms of a deal.
Sandra, what are you doing?
No information you know about anything that has been discussed here or any prior discussions that we have had. No, your knowledge of changelings, nothing gets told to any of your kin, any other vampires. Because Cassandra doesn't know the word kindred. And that any of this information does not get fed out. And we will do our best to. We will do the same. None of our information will give up anything. We won't tell anything about you, any of you.
For the sake of practicality, I would carve out an exception for warning others about the impending threat coming into our cities.
Oh, that's fine. That is fine. Knowledge of changelings or vampires on either side is not exchanged.
Well, the Sabbat are vampires, so you may want to hold on to that one. For nomenclature's sake, this is a word you did not hear from me, and this is a word that you do not use unless you want to be eaten. The Camarilla. No knowledge of the Camarilla, or of changelings, shall be distributed to anyone else by anyone involved here.
I will take the burden of this pledge on myself.
He offers a hand.
And she will shake. Spend the glamour. You know what? For shiggles, we'll throw in Ensorcelment in there. That way she can see what she's fighting to keep alive.
Sort of blinks her eyes. I've always wondered. Colorful.
Thank you.
Well, if you're looking to use these houses as safe houses, I should probably get the paperwork finalized quickly.
That would be very kind of you. Thank you.
I'll go get that wrapped up now, and we'll have the funds transferred, and we'll get you into these houses within the next couple of days.
That would be perfect. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And for your sake, and mine, avoid anything that sounds like gang violence at night. Because if this keeps up, it's very likely that it's not.
I wasn't inclined to do so in the first place, but I appreciate the forewarning.
All right,
Uh,
I'm going to go back to my office and get everything done, unless there's anything else.
No, you've been wonderful. Thank you so much.
You've been more than helpful. Much appreciated. Thank you.
And it's hard to imagine a vampire being shaken, but she does seem somewhat off-put by the information that has been shared tonight. And she sort of hastily makes her way back to her vehicle and starts to drive off.
Cassandra is going to give Tyr a look that says, "Oh, what's an empathy?"
Let's see if Tyr sees anything about. Tyr knows you.
We are going to talk in the car.
Um, this may sound childish, and somebody, please don't make fun of me for it. And she looks at James. She's like, I don't want to, after hearing all this information, I don't want to be by myself tonight.
I mean, that sounds fair.
I want to be surrounded by my family. Since we don't have a house yet, Marlena, do you mind if we...
Not one little bit. Feel free.
Don't get me wrong, I love the warehouse. It's just out of the way and not near here.
Sweetie, you
Absolutely.
don't have to explain yourself. We get it.
I'm gonna explain myself anyway, but
Over at Cassandra. We all heading that way?
I would like to, please. Feel bad for leaving the kids, but
well, you don't have to
The-
stay.
no, I want to. They're in good hands. Besides, do you really think this one would let us leave together without having some sort of eyes on the house?
Understood.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I know you.
Turns out the babysitter's also a mage, and you get back to a Sabat lawn chair.
They can't do the lawn chair. It's bad.
No. The babysitter is obviously a reborn.
Just as long as the
Just,
word earthbound doesn't come out of your mouth, I'm not scared.
Just a fucking hey, listen. I'm not saying that the Earthbound would be great people you want to make deals with, but can you imagine a better disincentive for people to threaten that house?
No, I can't.
Sure, your kids might become evil, but
They'll be safe.
they're going to be safe.
They might do that anyway.
Let's not talk about that.
No. Not an Earthbound, just a literally unkillable mummy.
Also, they might be evil. They already might become eco-terrorists.
But that's not evil.
Well, I mean,
That depends on who you ask.
so says a person who's talked about nuking Arcadia.
Frisian hasn't.
I don't think that has been expressed in
I
character.
think Katie's stuck in accent.
Okay, yeah.
Katie is stuck in accent.
That's fair.
Just leave it be.
No, they in good hands. Trust me, I pay that babysitter enough. She's getting paid very well.
Oh, I'm sure
on the regular.
I'm sure she is. It must be a.
She's gonna look at Tyr. Is she on your company payroll?
Mine. I wasn't gonna let a hunter anywhere near our kids.
Oh, thank fuck. Okay.
Listen, I know it might surprise you that I would be the one to bring this up, but with current information being what it is, somebody needs to warn. Frank, Lisa.
Where are they at right now?
I don't fucking know. It is not my week to keep track of them, and I don't think it ever will be my week to keep track of them again.
Well,
So I'm just gonna pull out her phone and call Frank.
Frank. You're muted.
Last I recall, we were very loudly playing some heavy metal.
Yes, you were.
oh yeah, you're
It's
with
later in the
Bulls.
evening now. I don't know if that's still going on.
How much does it annoy Scarlet?
A lot.
It might still be going
It
on.
might still be going on. Yes. So roll me a wits and composure to see if you can hear your phone going off amidst heavy metal,
All right.
or feel it in your pocket or something.
While Cassandra's making that call, Frisian texts his grandnephew a warning. It's like, apparently there's hunters that don't like the supernatural, and very violent vampires coming into the city.
Okay.
You send that text. It is like after midnight, so
Wits composure.
roll another one.
2 success.
I'll say with 2 successes, you barely notice over the din.
Sigh for a moment. Pull the phone out. Step into a room that is not that room. Who's calling me?
Cassandra.
Hey, what's up?
Frank. Oh, good. You're alive.
Is there a reason I wouldn't be?
Lily, Morgana. She just lists off everybody in the pack.
Oh, no. The only one I'm annoying is Scarlet, and I assure you that is endeared me to the rest.
You know what? Good for you. Stick it to that bitch. Anyway, I know nothing about her, but I just get a vibe.
Vibes seem accurate.
There we go.
That sounds like some anti-silver fang propaganda right there. Many of my current living character in the werewolf game will not stand for it. My dead one fully supports it.
Oh fuck. So some shit's going down. Like real bad. It's a lot to explain over the phone.
Is anyone in immediate danger? Is everyone in immediate danger?
I mean, imminent.
How everyone is everyone?
Everyone.
Gotcha. 1 second. Who's the de facto in charge? Who's the actual in charge werewolf?
Morgana.
I'll poke out. Hey, Morgana. I hate to interrupt a good thing, but you might want to overhear something.
As the strumming cut, she slaps a hand over the strings to quiet it down. As like as the amp dies.
The Motley is headed to Jackson's. Kind of none of us really want to be separate, and I prefer you not be away from us. I know you're very protected by everybody there, but you're part of the Motley, and
Were those Jackson's words or was your words?
those are my words. And
What are
she will look
Jackson's
over
words?
at Jackson.
Jackson's like,
Hold, please. Mute.
I'm sorry, we did not discuss Frank coming over. I just said he needed to be warned.
My apologies.
That's all right. I can
Besides-
section off a portion of the house.
No.
He stays on one side, I stay on the other. It will be fine. I have security cameras I can keep an eye on.
Unmute. Okay. So, quickest way to put this is there have been a few bodies found over the past week that have all been completely drained of blood. Like, completely exsanguinated.
Right. I got Morgana here. I think this is a speakerphone kind of thing.
Yep.
I put you on
It's-
speaker. I mean,
That's
her
fair.
hearing's pretty good. She might have heard.
She
did.
probably heard. That tracks. Hi, sweetie. So that's not the regular MO of vampires.
No,
Even
the
though
leeches
TV
are
makes
more
it look that
subtle
way.
than that normally.
Yeah. And so there are well, Morgana, you know what the word Sabat means?
I know it's a vampire word. I don't know the meaning behind it. I've just heard it
Okay.
mentioned once or twice.
Well, how do I put this? They're stock raven mad terrorists.
That tracks.
And this is the way they kill. This is the way they feed. And with multiple bodies showing up like this, a source is telling me that it is potentially the Sabat. So I'm just trying to let everybody know. There might. Oh, this gets complicated. Mute. I can't warn Lily's pack about the hunters.
Nope.
Yep.
Wait. The
No,
hunters?
I
No, you
can.
can mention the hunters. You can't mention the
Right.
the,
Lily knows. Yeah.
the,
Lily
the,
knows.
the caballero or whatever.
Amarillo.
Amarillo.
Amarillo?
I am going to guess that is one of those words that everybody says differently. Unmute.
We like meta humor.
So, I need everybody to start staying in the homes at night as much as possible, because the city is about to become quite literally a hunting ground in multiple meanings of the word. Sabata coming in, and so are a bunch of hunters. And not just the ones connected to my source. Different hunter organizations that treat those of us that walk the night and walk the weird differently. And
I'm
they view
gonna
us
guess they don't hold much love for. I point at, motion towards Morgana, which of course you can't see, but
no. This group that I've been warned is they like to eat.
I'm gonna want you to finish that sentence because I can
Supernaturals.
assume a lot of things. All right, that was where I was worried that sentence was ending.
So anything that looks like gang violence in the next few weeks, stay the fuck away from it. Because that's bound to be Sabat. Why am I telling you off of this? No, the hunters. I was gonna say I'm not terribly worried about the 10-foot tall killing machines, but I'm very worried about the 6-foot tall cat in the room.
I appreciate that.
Just Morgana.
All right. Do we have a time frame on when these?
I mean, it sounds like the Sabat are already here, so I would imagine it won't be long before the hunters show up.
So is the plan
We're talking
to
days.
fix the problem before the hunters get here, or is the plan to lay so low that they just fight it out and we let them?
Cassandra's going to turn and look to Jackson.
Or is that something we discuss when I get back to the house and we're all together in the same room?
I think that might be a better option. Can you have Lily drop you off?
Yeah,
Or do you want me to come get you?
I can bring him by, said Lily.
Thanks, Lily Pad. All right. We will see you at the mansion. Please be safe.
Should I make the assumption that going out at night without a heck of an entourage is going to be inadvisable for the next bit?
I would say at the very least.
Just out of curiosity, if bad things happen and someone were to say retreat into the hedge, can a vampire follow?
I mean, it's a door.
Eh,
Sorry, this is James. I mean, it's a door. So
Yeah, but what happens to a vampire in a hedge?
That's a very good question. I don't know, and you probably won't live long enough to find out.
If I
So
figure out, I'll make sure to
unless
record it.
you're real quick. I mean, if you can get away like that, go ahead, but don't let them follow you.
Well, I'm getting away like that's going to be a whole lot faster than running.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for the warning. I'll see you guys shortly.
All right.
The phone hangs up, and Morgana just sort of like sharply whistles to the rest of the pack. All right, folks, round up. We got to drop our friend off here, and then we need to report back to everyone else.
Now there's a third faction for the all-out war. The werewolves on high alert for the next several days, hunting vampires.
I don't think we made this better.
I don't know.
That's not
I
what
think-
Frank's here for.
I'm pretty sure we did not make this better. I'm pretty sure we just increased the mortal casualty rate like threefold.
Is
Just wait till we also tell
Listen.
the
I'm
comics
having
and
a hard-
Summer Court.
okay? Is that number one? Is that Jeremy talking or Orlando?
That's me.
I say okay. As Katie, I'm saying this seems like a very hard situation for better.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know that how many ways you can make this better.
Like,
No, but there's maintaining the level of bad. And there's
Adding
hitting
gasoline.
yeah, adding gasoline. There's hitting the nos.
listen, we just
we listen to overdrive. We are one step away from, hey, why don't we also call the technocracy and see if they'd like to get involved?
I have
Frisian's
no
already warned.
frame of
Frisian's
reference.
already warned the mage. Whether or not that gets to the technocracy is out of our
We'll
control.
not get to the
It will not
technocracy.
get to
If,
the technocracy.
if the mages are remotely competent, it will not get to the technocracy. Granted, the mages might not be remotely competent, and the technocracy may find out. And Gehenna / the apocalypse / everything else might start in Dolly World, as was foretold in the early times.
Yea, they spake upon us the prophecy that the end of all things began in the home of Dolly Parton.
I'm now imagining like these prophetic art images of Dolly Parton as like this conquering warrior.
Listen,
Somebody please
can't-
draw that.
we can't let that happen. Not because it would be bad overall, even though it would be, because that would make Ted Nugent right about something, and we can't have that.
The thing that unites us all.
Did Ted Nugent think the like accused Dolly Parton of being a like prophesized war hero?
No, but he did call her Satan's artist.
Good for her.
Right?
Interesting claim to make.
Listen, all I'm saying is if Ted Nugent doesn't like you, you're probably a saint.
You are winning at life.
I'm
Yes.
unfamiliar with this Ted Nugent.
You
That's fine.
probably know of him outside, other than he was the lead singer, guitarist of Damn Yankees. He did he became a solo rock artist.
I don't know.
Cat Scratch Fever.
Austin doesn't know music
Um,
because he has no ability to distinguish lyrics from sound. He
You're
doesn't listen to a lot of music.
in this case, other than the first Damn Yankees album, you are missing nothing by not being familiar with Ted Nugent's music.
It's a thing that never ceases to amaze me is Austin's inability to comprehend music.
Everybody needs a hobby. Meanwhile, making things better, worse at the mansion.
Yep, heading over.
Don't we
Go
Don't
on.
we also need to stop by Cavaldi's?
Oh, that's right.
That's probably a good idea, especially with your outfits are waiting for you. So might want those.
We might want those, yeah.
Is that like one person can go pick everybody's stuff up?
One person can probably go pick everybody's stuff up. Yes.
Do we want one person to be separate?
Cassandra and I will point out that Cassandra and Tyr can go together if you so
Mhm.
desire.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll we're just gonna head straight back to Jackson's mansion.
Oh, hey.
Pretty soon we're gonna have to specify which mansion.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh.
All right. So, order of things arriving, based on where you guys are at. Tyr and Cassandra will reach Cavaldi's first. Then, the gang that just left the house that you were looking to buy will reach Jackson's place, and then, the wolf pack, the wolves go chopping, will show up with Frank at Jackson's place, and then after all of that, and after everything's been picked up, Tyr and Cassandra will be able to make it back to their place, to the place. So let's start with Tyr and Cassandra. As the two of you arrive back at Cavaldi's, and I need to remember my call and response correctly this time. As Tyr knocks and the slide opens and the voice asks, "Who are the founders?" And Tyr responds, "Emmanuel and the Sons." And the doors open, and the two of you are ushered in. As Kant is the first one to greet you as you enter. "Ah, good to see you. I suppose you're here to pick up the outfits for your group."
Yes.
"Very well. Come with me." And he will walk you into another room and hand a series of briefcases.
Okay.
"Will you require assistance getting these out to your vehicle?"
If you'd be so kind.
"Certainly." He whistles, and an attendant sort of steps up and helps carry a few things as he grabs a pair himself. And the group of you bring everything back out to the vehicle. As you're loading everything up, you close the trunk, and 4 or 5 blocks down the road, something explodes. It's not a big explosion. It's not like a building going up in smoke, but there's a bang, a flash of light, and a puff of smoke. And several car alarms start going off.
That was the last of it, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's get in the car and we go.
As Canton
do
and
not-
attendant step inside and shut the door.
I was about to say do not call the police, but that sounds stupid, and she'll head around to the driver's seat. Actually, no, she will get in the passenger seat. She will let Tyr drive.
here, gets in the driver's seat, turns the key, hits the gas. He's gonna make a quick dex and drive. Gonna put a willpower into this. Good. Cassandra, give me wits and composure
Okay.
while this is going on.
Can I spend a willpower on this?
What?
Two successes.
It's difficult to hear over the noise of the engine. But you hear somebody shouting obscenities at what sounds like high velocity. And as you sort of look over your shoulder, you see what looks like a humanoid figure clear like a couple dozen feet over the air, cross the entire width of a street, jumping from one rooftop to another, carrying what looks to be another humanoid in under one arm.
Oh, hold on.
It sort of crosses the street behind you. It doesn't seem to be like approaching you. It's just going in a different direction.
Okay. It's going in a completely different direction.
Sort of perpendicular to your path, kind of thing.
Okay. I just saw one carrying a body.
Here sort of white knuckles the steering wheel.
Go.
I'm not dragging you into that. He keeps on the course.
Tia.
For all we know, that person is dead already. Or wishes they were.
I was planning on having us stop at a liquor store to get something really nice for Jackson, but let's just get to the fucking mansion, please. And she's gonna call the babysitter.
The phone rings twice. Chelsea picks up. Hey.
Hey, Claire.
Claire, that was it.
Nothing's wrong. Nothing wrong, sweetie. I'm just having a bit of a moment. Can you put Penthesilea on the phone for me, please?
Yeah. Hey, Penny. And she sort of
goes to say she hates that and then just stops herself. Like,
a few minutes pass and she hands the phone over. Hey, Mom.
hey, sweetie. Nothing's wrong. Mommy's just having a little bit of freak out. You know how your brother does sometimes?
Yeah?
Yeah, I needed to hear your voice. That's all I needed.
Okay.
How was? Yeah, I'm fine. No, I'm not fine. Everything's okay, but something a little scary happened. There was a car accident near us, and I just got a little scared. So I thought I needed to talk to you.
Claire says getting upset when someone else is hurt means you care.
That's right. Meta, oh, this poor autistic child. Okay. I'm calming down. Okay, sweetie. You and your brother have fun tonight with Clea. If Mom and I come home tonight, it'll be super late and way past your bedtime. So I will. I love you.
Love you, Mom.
Okay. Be good for Clea. Give her the phone back, please.
Okay. He hands the phone back. Hey.
Hey, I'm better. Can you just read them an extra chapter or something tonight for me, please?
Mhm.
If they make it through the first one, that is.
No worries. I'll take
Okay.
care of you.
All right. Thank you so much. And she'll hang up.
You're still white knuckling the steering wheel, but it is definitely more of a like keeping eyes open for potentially anything dangerous.
Kids are fine. I knew they would be, but I just. How are you doing?
I apologize if I don't talk a lot. I'm kind of in mission mode right now.
I will shut up then. And she will just stay silent. She's also keeping her eyes open for anything.
Some composure for Tier. That tracks. At some point over the course of the drive, Tier sees something that you don't quite note out of the corner of their vision. Hooks their pistol off their waist, rolls the window down, leans out to one side, fires a shot off in a direction. You do not see the result of that shot. Whatever you just said did not come over the mic.
She's going to wait to ask what he saw until they are parked.
He sort of holds the gun like just under the window line for a minute. Seems to be watching that area as he's driving. Sort of glances back in the rear view. Seems to confirm that whatever he saw has fucked off and puts the pistol back away.
Okay, so what the fuck was that?
I saw one of, well, something dangerous. Fuck it, you're already in this deep. There's a thing that happens when this kind of bad shit starts gathering around a location. When, call it negative energy, call it expressed hatred, call it bad luck likes to gather more bad luck. But when shit goes south like this, sometimes things that should be dead start moving again. And not like vampires.
Like zombies?
Yeah.
I am sorry. What the fuck are you telling me right now?
They're not an organized problem like vampires or werewolves or anything else that moves like people do. But they sort of like how scavengers become a problem after predators move through an area.
Oh, great.
When there's a whole lot of this bullshit going on, the dead don't sleep easy sometimes.
Cassandra's just going to go nonverbal for a bit.
Usually when one of them looks at you too hungry, a warning shot will tell them to fuck off. They're largely animalistic. But that's something I'm going to have to deal with later. This is just going to... All of this activity building up is just going to make the jobs of the people who actually live here that much harder. This is why I'm always against hunters who don't know the area or the situation just coming down because they think there's work to do. Keeps driving.
Cassandra will say nothing the rest of the ride, but will put a reassuring hand on her spouse's thigh.
You sense there's a positive effect to that. Meanwhile, the rest of you that are not Frank, because Frank is getting to that place after the other three, arrive back at Jackson's place.
Yep. Well,
Joe is just going to go straight, get out of the car that she and James drove over in. She's going to go straight inside, grab a drink from the kitchen, grab a go straight to the sofa near the fireplace, grab a blanket, and just like cocoon in the corner of the couch with her drink. And just she needs something between her and the world.
I'm picking a spot that should they stay, Frank and Lisa will be able to stay in. That is their area, and they get to stay in that area. I feel like there's
selection
with or without caution tape. Crime scene tape. Like
you just see Jackson walking across, walking out of the garage, like walks in the garage and walks out with a can of paint and a brush. It's going to be drawn across. I'm marking delineation line. I'm creating a DMZ in my own home.
Oh. and forgive me, this is Katie. On the carpet?
If need be. There's probably enough hardwood. Like,
There's a mixture of carpet and hardwood throughout
Yeah.
this house. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's your, you know what?
I will find somewhere that allows access to the kitchen, which is the DMZ. That is just a portion of the house. Probably small, not uncomfortable. And yep, just bloop.
fair enough.
I'm guessing you stay on your side, they stay on their side.
You have guessed correctly.
Thank you for not insulting my intelligence.
Of course.
So you've probably just finished finalizing, figuring out where that's going to be, and painting the actual lines.
Right.
When the buzzer goes off for gate access, and you look at the camera and see the heavy metal mystery machine outside.
I will buzz them in.
So Frank, Morgana brings the van into the compound, doesn't turn it off, just puts it in park, and sort of leans over her shoulder to look at you in the back with everyone who is not in the passenger seat, which is everyone but Scarlet. He says, "You good from here?"
Yeah. Thank you for the ride. Sorry to end things on that kind of note, but
And it's better that we know than that we don't. At the very least, we can prepare for this shitstorm that's about to come rolling through.
yeah. Yeah. Thanks for everything. And he'll nod and hop on out of the car.
You hop out after you're safely a few feet away from the van. It backs up, heads back out.
Head into the house.
As you step into the house, you see that there are clearly demarcated paint lines across specific sections of the building.
Well, that seems a little excessive.
I'm trying to, Frank. I am trying to make this as comfortable as possible for you and for me.
You could have designated a couple of rooms and I could have figured that out, but
Joe's gonna step in here. Listen, with all the shit that's about to go down, do we really need to start the infighting?
That's what I'm trying to do.
Can you set Kit? I'm looking
I'm on my side of the line.
All right, then let's just stay there and let's not make any comments about it. If you can't say
Of
something
note,
nice,
Frank,
can't say something nice and shut up.
while it's not like a significant fraction of the house, the section that you've been demarcated is relatively comfortable. There's space to walk around. There's a room with a bed, you know.
I'm aware. Frank is aware.
The kitchen is a neutral ground space because obviously, if you're staying here more than long enough to need to eat, we will all need to use that. Also, for conversations and the like.
I think we got an important conversation. Soon as looks around. Where's Cassandra?
They were she and Tia were picking up the stuff from the tailors.
I was hoping not to test it so quickly, but I still hope the same thing, actually.
Listen, we're gonna get that here. We're gonna all get in here, and then for the moment, we can just. I'm not hiding. I'm not saying we gotta hide. We just gotta
Oh no, I'm down for hiding.
shelter in place.
Yeah, no, I will not make any we statements because I'm not speaking for any of y'all. I said it before. I am not hiding. I refuse.
This is my home. Well, not this physical building, but this
I understood what you meant.
city, the state is my home.
All right.
My life is here. Ain't nobody gonna drive me out.
How long do we expect?
Any second, any day, any minute.
Awesome.
We just know it's not a never gonna happen. It's an eventuality. We just don't know how eventual. But it is an absolute going to happen.
Is that about this point that the buzzer goes off again as you check the camera, Jackson? It is Cassandra's vehicle.
Okay. Yep. In you
Buzz
or come.
Cassandra. Tyr hasn't said much else for the rest of that drive either, and the gates open. Tyr drives in, parks, exhales. Are we going?
She'll just nod.
Girl, step out. Walk around, offer a hand if you need it.
She'll take it. She doesn't need it, but she'll take it.
You mean she doesn't physically need it?
Right.
Tyr and Cassandra walk in arm, looking annoyed and worn out and exhausted. Tyr, as they enter, Tyr just kind of thumbs over. Tyr's carrying two briefcases and thumbs over his shoulder with his with the hand that's holding the briefcases, and just everyone's outfits are in the trunk of the car.
Frisian promptly goes and grabs as many briefcases as he can physically carry.
We're just buy with the rest of them.
I'm going to take an educated guess that the garage is 1,000,000% out of my zone.
Yes, it is.
I'm going. Frisian headed off. Looks at James like, if there's anything left, do you mind helping out?
That was to James.
Or if just don't answer me, that's fine.
Oh, to James, sorry. I missed you. That was aimed too. Yeah, I'll give it a hand.
Thank you.
James heads out after Frisian, and between the two of them, they can easily get the remaining briefcases.
Jackson is being as accommodating as possible, but that does not include granting access to his vehicles or power tools.
Oh no, like 1,000,000%.
So,
plus, your opinion of Frank being around your cars has been expressed.
Yes.
Repeat.
The outfits that you have requested have been created. They are to your visual specifications and provide 3 different armor ratings because each of you sort of described either light, medium, or heavy armor, basically. This is better than most things that you could get on a market while still looking like clothing. So all of it is generally concealable, air quotes, in that it looks like a normal outfit. But the light clothing that any of you ordered has the properties They basically have the properties of either Kevlar vest, flak jacket, or full riot gear, but with both armor ratings improved by 1. So the light armor provides a rating of 2-4, the medium armor provides a rating of 3-5, and the heavy armor provides a rating of 4-6. But also provides the requisite penalties in medium and heavy armor that are associated with flak jackets and full riot gear. Armor is on page 322 of the Changing the Law second edition rulebook.
D22. And you said it's light. It's which one?
It's Kevlar vest if it's light. It's flak jacket if it's medium. It's full riot gear if it's heavy. But each of their ratings is up by 1.
Okay.
Someone tell me what the light armor is.
It's just going to be 2-4. Like you're going to put in your outfit, and the armor rating is going to be 2-4. It doesn't have any defense or speed modifiers.
All right.
I think Frisian was the one who had requested heavy, or was that Frank?
Frank
Or
did not
Lisa in
request
that
it heavy.
case?
No, it was not heavy.
No.
Or was it? No, I think it was actually Marlena that requested heavy, wasn't it, on one of the outfits?
That would be a real bad idea.
Did anyone request heavy?
Heavy is stronger than
you have. Your strength.
Heavy is heavier than my 1 strength class can handle.
Fair.
Actually, yeah, Frisian. The more formal suit.
Right. Yeah, the more formal suit was the heavier one for you.
Yeah.
That's right. You had the casual outfit that was like, I think you said light, and then the formal suit was heavy.
Yeah.
Now, the important difference is that coverage is whatever the outfit actually covers. So for most people who have suits, it'll be torso, arms, and legs, regardless of what the coverage of the original arm would normally be. And dresses, it'll be torso and legs.
This is actually what brings Joe out of her cocoon blanket. Sorry, the accent's going in and out. It's gonna do what it does. Mind of its own.
How dare you not have a consistent accent, I say.
Blasphemy.
Me, the king of consistent accents. Something drow.
Drow should have Kiwi accents, and you can't prove me otherwise.
No, drow, their accent all their own. I could not tell you what that accent is, but I do it.
This is actually what brings Joe out of her cocoon, blanket cocoon, because as you do with new clothing, and certainly for somebody like Joe who has never owned anything like this until very recently. Just gotta like unfold it and hold it up and like look at it and do the hold it against your figure kind of thing.
As Tyr sort of looks around. Now, from personal experience, those outfits will stop you from getting really hurt, but taking a bullet with one of those still stings like a bitch.
I'm familiar with taking bullets in armor, says Frank.
I wanted to be on the record. I did not stop that.
All right.
Frank
I'm
will
the
open
one
his mouth
behaving.
Okay.
and then close it.
I'm the one behaving right now.
Okay, it is duly noted. It is on the record.
All right.
Frisian will comment that getting shot sucks regardless of how much armor you have.
That is fully fair.
But I mean that more than like it'll stop you from taking real damage, but more than a flak vest, it doesn't have a whole lot of like. It has some padding. It has enough to stop you from taking like blunt force trauma damage. Stings like a motherfucker.
After Frisian's comment, he just kind of stares off into nowhere, like just full 1,000-yard stare.
You know, I appreciate knowing what it can do. But at the moment, I just need to appreciate it as it is.
Enjoyed the style.
And that's what I've been able to process a lot tonight. And I want to give myself this. I know it can protect me. I know it can be deadly. But I just want to appreciate the fact that it was made for me and it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Fair.
And just pretend that the only thing I have to worry about is making small talk at charity functions. So I gotta keep, part of me has to keep my eye on that. Oh, I don't know how else to get through this.
All right. So what is... Our plan isn't just to hole up and wait this out, right?
I don't think we can
I don't think we should.
or should.
And I don't think I'm gonna, even if we should and can.
So what can we do?
Right now, until we know what we're up against, there's not a lot we can do.
Look, the easiest way, from what I understand, and I am not saying that we facilitate this or that we go doing this. I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying we need to get this done as quick as we need to get this over with as quick as possible. I think we can all agree that.
Agreed.
What it sounds like the quickest way this is over is when one side or the other is completely gone.
It sounds like the side that needs to be gone is the Sabat. That's what you called it?
I mean, they should both be gone. I'll be honest, between the two, and I'm not saying I have any love for vampires. I know of vampires other than the one, but between the two, one of them feels like it'll be a bigger threat to us. And that's the batshit crazy hunters.
It
Yeah,
feels
but they
like
also feel like the ones that are just going to keep throwing at us.
it feels like
There's
they're
a
both
lot of gray space here.
It feels like they're both a big threat to us. But if the vampires are gone, then the hunters go away too.
Do they though?
I don't think they do. Why would
Are they putting up a permanent residence, setting the shingle out, so to speak?
that's my concern. What's to stop them from staying?
Nothing.
General agreement that this isn't their turf.
Yes, because that's worked so well with any government or bureaucratic agencies in the past.
Or just put it in a more general and less euphemistic way, an invading force.
Actually, you know what? Hey, Tyr, if the Sabbat are gone, is there a reason for Ashwood Abbey? Was it? Is there a reason for them to stay, or would they go back to their actual places?
Tyr is currently looking down at their phone as this conversation's going on. And they look up as you ask him a question. I mean, the Abbey in particular, once the party's over, they'll take off. And
As long as they don't suspect there's anything else to have fun with.
pretty much.
We need to bore them out.
It's not going to be the government. This Tyr sort of glancing down at their phone. Apparently, according to Fixer's info, Task Force Valkyrie isn't getting involved. But we do have confirmed agents coming down from Ashwood Abbey. Aegis Kaidoru, Malleus Maleficarum, and the Faithful of Shelpay.
For those of us not in the business, can we get some kind of written
Who are the ones we need to worry about?
reference? All of them.
All of them.
Observe.
It sounds like mostly this added people.
The Ashwood Abbey and the Faithful of Shelpay are the people that if you see them, you run.
Again, but
we have two different breeds of cannibals.
oh, okay, cannibals now. Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
Two different breeds of cannibals. People who think that Tomb Raider is aspirational, and the church.
I need to go back a few words
for
there.
fuck's sake.
I'm going to put a pin in that last one.
That's an unholy trifecta is what that is.
There is a group. There are multiple groups among, and when I say yours here, I'm not talking about your group, but among your hunters who are fucking cannibals.
Yeah, one group does it because they're freaks. The other one gets supernatural powers out of it.
Oh, well, that makes it all better.
I didn't say it did.
I feel slightly better knowing that they at least have a concrete reason instead of just for the hell of it.
No, I don't feel
I
better.
don't feel that way.
Having a concrete reason gives them goals and makes them more dangerous.
I don't know how the faithful do it, but I've seen one of them eat a vampire and then get some of their abilities. It's fucking weird.
Here's
No.
I'm starting to have a difficulty understanding why we are the monsters in this situation. And by I mean all the non-hunting things. Sure, there are these Sabat and
okay.
other such things, but
Here's what I want to know.
I question that sometimes myself.
Maybe nobody has an answer for this. We're talking about this group, that group, and the other group. How do we even fucking know?
that's also a very good question.
Like, it's not like they're wearing t-shirts,
Are they gonna shout out the names like
leather jackets,
fucking
or
Pokemon style or something like that?
I mean, if you didn't know who I was working with, you probably wouldn't be able to tell by looking at me. So generally not. But the two that you should be concerned about, it will be obvious.
okay, you just said that, but how is it obvious when we see them gnawing on somebody's
I
forearm?
was about to say, if you see someone who looks like they just got finished taking a bite out of someone, fucking run.
I'm sorry. Do these people just walk around the streets like this?
When they're on the hunt, everything's fair game.
They're more active at night, during the day.
I
Does
mean,
it matter?
most of their prey is active at night, so
Okay, so we just sheltered in place at night.
I mean, it's going to be a lot harder for them to move around during the day going on active hunts because
I mean that I can see that. And Joe is going to notice throughout all this conversation, very exuberant conversation, is going to notice Cassandra. And Joe is going to go back to her spot on the couch. She is going to pick up her phone and ask Cassandra if she needs a timeout, that she would be happy to walk somewhere else for a few minutes if she needs to.
She texts the word yes, but that's it.
Joe just nods. Okay, this is gonna be a random question. How tall is Cassandra?
5'2", I believe.
you're not tall.
She's
Okay.
not tall.
Not tall. Okay. That just has to do with my question. Hey, Cassandra, I need a refill. Can you come help me find the thing that opens the wine? Can you come help me find that?
She will follow.
Here, just gives a look to Cassandra, sort of like, go do what you need to, kind of thing.
Is there any? I'm trying to remember the layout of the house. Is there any door that opens or closes to the kitchen?
The kitchen's fairly open
Probably
concept,
yes.
but there is an door, yes.
You
We're siblings. Did you expect me not to do that?
I have siblings as well. I don't have to pick up their bad habits.
It's a speech mannerism that we do on purpose as a joke.
I know.
It's gonna bother her worse when I start doing it too.
I think it might legitimately just be an ADHD thing to play around with your grammar on purpose.
It's fine. I'm truly not bad at it. It's
we
like
get it.
it's
we
like
get
a
it.
rock in my shoe. I have to say something about it,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't hurt. Like I'm just like my brain just goes. "Mm." That's my neurodivergence.
Fair.
So back to Joe. Joe is going to shut the door and tell and turn to Cassandra and say, "Now I legitimately do not know, and I can't. I legitimately do not know the name of that thing that gets the cork out of the wine bottle. So I actually do really need help with that because I am miserable at it, and am more likely to break the bottle than actually, get a drink out of it." And I will keep talking if you want me to talk. I will shut up if you need me to shut up. I just want you to know that you're not alone.
Thank you. She'll start looking through drawers. We were pursued. There was an explosion. Tia killed something. Feels like we never left.
You escape.
Torch is just different.
You escape one hell to go to another.
Well, at least in this hell, I get to be with the people that I love. And she'll set the wine key on the counter.
Corkscrew.
Thank you.
So a wine key can actually do the same thing. Because it unfolds into a corkscrew.
Yeah.
There's many different names for.
That's legit.
The word you were looking for was corkscrew. Yeah.
I wasn't even. I don't even know what the word I was looking for. Because I was going like bottle opener, but that's not it. But
A wine key does several. A wine key is like a multi-purpose tool for several different types of bottles. But one of the one you want off of that key is the corkscrew.
But so Joe's gonna very carefully use it. First off, that sounds like a lot. And I imagine it's one thing to hear about it, another thing to be in the vicinity of it.
I called my kids because I needed to hear their voice in case something happened.
I'm so glad you did. That was going to be my next question.
I only talked to Penthesilea, but even just hearing one of them was enough. Speaking of children.
That's my dog.
Oh, okay.
That's my dog. That's not my child.
Great child.
The menace. Well, no, I can't even say that. You are going to live. I can only I can't say anything because I'm not there. All I know is the first time I wanted. Oh my lord! It's about to get real southern up in here. But I imagine that when I was hearing all this information, the only thing I wanted to do was grab everybody that I loved and put them in one place. And I can only imagine your courage right now about not about being here with us and not holding holding everybody, your kids and your spouse and the in your own home. So I just want you to know I really appreciate that you're here, and I completely understand if that needs to change. Um, I mean, in a way, I feel like this between you, me, and the door, because James and I haven't even. Oh my lord, James and I haven't even talked about it yet. But in a way, through all this, I feel like I said I'm not hiding, and I said I'm gonna fight, and I feel like I'm just fighting for my life. I'm fighting for kids that don't even exist yet, but maybe one day will. And I've just that idea gives me something to be brave for.
If we weren't brave and sometimes incredibly stupid, those future kids that we want would never get fought for and would never be here. So you hold on to that, okay? I just got a little. It was a lot very fast, and right after the vampire attack and or the conversation about the vampire attack, it just I don't know. It was all too much. So I'm better, but it was a lot.
It's okay not to be okay.
She just walks over to Joe and just hugs her and collapses into her for a minute.
Matt, we're going to take our break.
So
Remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Please enjoy these commercial messages.
We back.
Welcome back. While that conversation was happening before the break was going on, the conversation on the other side of the building from that continued.
Mm-hmm.
We will not be joined, for those who are noticed, we will not be joined for the rest of the evening by Austin. They were feeling tired and exhausted and needed to go rest, so he's going to go rest. So,
I'm not particularly a fan of this concept that's being suggested. I understand why, and I understand the shall we say, risk of avoiding such or of not doing such, but I am not a fan of this whole sheltering at place every night kind of thing.
I mean, I can't make you, but understand that it's not just your life you're taking into your own hands at that point. Is if vampires find you, I only imagine what they might learn and what they might use that for. And if hunters find you, I know what they will learn and what they will use it for.
So what then? We just hide and wait for this whole thing to be over? And hope that it ever is? Fuck no.
I mean, I don't disagree. But at the same time, care needs to be taken. If we're going to try and bring this shadow war to an end, then we're going to need to try and be discreet about it as much as possible.
That's great. Those are wonderful sentiments that don't have a plan behind them, I'm detecting.
I mean, step one's going to be figuring out what the state of battle looks like. Trying to figure out how many vampires are coming, how many hunters are going to be showing up. And because thus far, all I've got is confirmed who's showing up, not how many as far as hunters go.
There's not much that we can do in that respect.
I don't know about that. Maybe, maybe not.
I'm all ears if you have a way that is better for me to find out how many hunters are showing up than you. Or vampires.
Well, for one, you know a vampire, and I am not, and are not a hunter. Even if she does know that you're associated with one, you have better social contacts. Beyond that, you guys have the ability to make deals happen and be real. There's a lot that you can pull from that I can't. You guys have the ability to work social angles that I am a blunt instrument for. I don't know how or what shape that's going to look like, but there are things you can do. Not to mention, you guys have friends among more than just. There's a lot of supernaturals that you guys have met. A surprising amount, I'm going to be honest. I can't come up with a plan for you, but I do know there is stuff you can do. Not to mention the real world influence most of you have at this point.
All right. I'm open. I'm open to any suggestions from anyone.
Well, for one,
Because
I definitely think that warning any other changelings that you can get the word out to is going to be a good idea.
haven't we already done that?
No.
Nope, not yet.
The werewolves have been alerted. The mage has been alerted.
I was under the impression that we had notified somebody. Okay. Well, the only way that we know to do that is to go to the commons. I guess you can, Frizzin, you can contact your boss.
Yeah.
But we don't have many phone numbers outside of that.
Out of character, Cassandra has the Spring Court Keeper's number.
Briar Rose.
Yeah, Briar Rose.
I was about to say, think about this time. Joe's going to look over at Cassandra's like, you ready to head back? Okay. So,
She will take the bottle of wine from you, pour a glass, drink that glass, pour another one, hand the bottle of wine back to you, and say, now we can go back inside.
Joe's going to pour her own glass and walk, follow Cassandra.
So, as they're coming back in, like Frisian will comments like, I certainly could call Autumn Fright. I think's the name. Okay.
Yeah.
I can definitely get a hold of Autumn Fright, which she could definitely get the information at least to a good amount of people. Do we have?
I mean, that's Fall Court.
Yeah. Do we have a way to get a hold of like the keepers? They might have a better way to disseminate information.
I have Briar Rose's number, and she will not keep that secret long.
All right. Well, that's problem solved.
I will note, even if I feel like you will be individually opposed to this based on everything that I understand about your group dynamic, Jackson, you all have a third angle to approach any problem from that I do not, which is everything on that side of reality.
You're asking us to use the hedge.
I don't know what you can do there or what might be helpful there, but I know it's an angle of approach that I do not have access to.
Just start shoving the Sabbat into Arcadia. Make it the keeper's problem instead of ours.
I don't know if that'd work or if it'd be a good idea or,
I don't want to be within sight of Arcadia. I barely want to be in the hedge.
From what I understand, that place lets you traverse unnoticed, unseen, and in a greater time factor than anywhere else.
All right,
if you get lucky.
I think I'm getting what my spouse is saying. If shit hits the fan and we need to get going, Edge.
Well, Hedge, yes, I'm not going to Arcadia.
No. I will never set foot in that realm again.
Aside from the power that ability presents to you as an escape factor, I've seen a bunch of weird shit that you guys have pulled out of there too. That works in the real world somehow.
I don't know if you're suggesting this or not. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you suggesting if we go hit up a goblin market, they might have some kind of solution?
I don't know. You guys are the ones that have that kind of experience. I don't know if they have weapons that do something helpful or if they just have information or I'm scraping every possible opportunity that comes to mind right now.
No, I understand. I want to make it clear. I'm not teasing you in any way. I'm just trying to get a better handle on what you're saying.
If we can pick up advantages in any way from the goblin market, it'll be useful.
There's literally another dimension of attack that you all have that yeah.
All right.
I mean, Bologna, you got the names of these high priority individuals that we need to stay the ever living fuck away from?
Hang on, let me. I know them by face line. I need to dig for names. Hang on.
Right.
She says as she starts texting pictures.
I'm guessing there's a cabinet or a study or something around here that has some kind of office supplies. Joe is going to go to wherever that is, pull out a spiral notebook, grab a pen and a pencil, and just start say, okay, this part, here's what's already been done, and here's what's already been done. Turns the page. Here's what we know. Here's resources we can use. Here's contacts we have made. Flips the page. Here we put the names and or descriptions of people to stay the things, people, creatures to stay the fuck away from. She's not writing down all this information, by the way. She's just like creating the headings on the pages. All right. So let's get started.
Well, situation as we know it. Multiple bodies have been exsanguinated in the last week or so, and the local hunter branches believe it to be activity of a vampire group known as the Sabbat.
All right. Okay, so that's the situation as we know it. So that's on the vampire side. Let's talk about the hunter side. Include that on the same page.
Now, Xia have agreed to let the other hunter groups operate in the area to deal with the impending threat.
Right.
Which means all of us are in danger.
All right, and let's. She turns to Valona. Can you write down the list of the? I know you don't have names yet. Can you at least write down the organizations?
Yeah.
She passes it over.
Yeah. She'll write down Ashwood Abbey, Aegis Kaidoru, Malleus Maleficarum, Faithful Shilpe. And in that order, writes a small note. Cannibals, Tomb Raiders, the Church, Cannibals with Powers.
All right.
Cannibals too, the cannibaling.
Cannibals for fun. Cannibals for powers.
Sounds like you're giving a pitch for a RPG system.
Cannibal-based RPG system.
Cannibals too, Electric Boogaloo.
So Joe takes the notebook back. All right. So that's what we're facing. I can't remember all the headings of everything I put down, but let's. Okay, who have we contacted? Who knows? Who knows what's going on?
It's about everybody at this point. In terms of supernatural people.
All right. Well, we got the werewolves. We got our Motley. We're working on informing. And she makes a note. Informing keepers of informing other keepers for changelings. The oh god, I'm messing up.
Informing the keepers of the common, Motley.
Keepers of the common. Thank you. I cannot get common for the life of me. Keepers of the common. We know the vampires we want to deal with know about this. We know Mage, at least one Mage knows about this. We know that Vallona's line of work knows about this. Okay, so I think that's everybody we have that knows something so far and are otherwise being informed. All right, flips the page. What resources do we have, and what resources can we look into?
In the middle of this, just sort of interrupting and like out of like ads is non sequitur. Tyr looks up from their phone and just goes, Nicholas Lansing and Madame Thorne.
And Joe flips back a couple of pages, writes those names down, flips back.
And those are
names to run away from very fast.
Both Abbey.
Madame Thorne is a headliner in the Ashwood Abbey in the southeastern region. Nicholas Lansing is Faithful of Shilpe.
Joe makes that note. Okay, so we're alerting the so this is gonna sound. Some of this is gonna sound redundant. So we got the abilities of the commons. We got whatever Tyr's organization is doing. We got the werewolves. We've got a vampire on the inside. She's gonna put an asterisk. I'm gonna put Goblin Market / hedge with a little asterisk by it so we can come back to that as a possible untapped resource.
There's your spellings, by the way.
Where'd you put them?
Whoops. That's my bad. I put them in the wrong thing. Over here. Blam.
Okay. I'm also including our on our resources. Specific abilities and specific abilities and weapons and armor that we have in and of ourselves, so we can keep track of that. And she just starts writing stuff down as people throw things at her, not literally, but like words and phrases.
Oh no, I'm literally throwing all of my guns and power tools at you.
I was just gonna chuck a random toaster.
Oh, whoa. You said throw the weapons we have, so fast. Here's a table saw.
Just goes out to the garage, starts throwing power tools on the table.
Listen. I mean,
first he detaches his hands and sets them on the table.
I mean, go. He thinks it's funny right now, but yeah, start throwing stuff at me and see what he does. She just, not that I can't hold my own, but I also can't breathe fire.
Considering the group, I think he just laughed for a bit.
I mean, yes, until anything actually happened.
Like, as long as we're not trying to, like, beam you in the head with something hard.
Throw blankets, pillows.
I did a sledgehammer behind my back at that point. No,
That's why the pillows and blankets first, so the hard things don't hurt as bad.
I can build a fort.
Shield me from the sledgehammers.
See, now the joke's on you. If you keep throwing stuff at me, the joke's on me because now I have it and you don't.
All right, so I'm gonna be a bitch. I know, shocking.
Wait a second.
Don't start.
Let me
Don't you
recover.
start.
Let me recover.
But I swear to God. All right, so
Okay,
I'm gonna be.
What the fuck you say?
I said, bitch, don't stop. I am going to make this more complex for us.
All right.
Because it's already so straightforward.
Now I am going to ask our hunter representative here. Fuck the supernaturals. How badly is the non-supernatural population gonna hurt here when insane maniacal vampires go to war with insane maniacal hunters? Because I'm not seeing this Knoxville turning out well.
Not wrong. Theoretically, hunters are supposed to keep the normal world from figuring out what's going on. We're supposed to deal with the problem before it gets out of hand and cover up any signs of activity to keep mass panic from destabilizing society.
Right, but you also said that these psychos are going to be
people
very
are fucking
clear.
insane, yeah.
Yeah, that it's going to be very clear that they are a problem with walking down the street. So
Yeah, if you run into a faithful or an Abbey member at night and they're on the hunt, it's not going to be a lot that's it's going to be fairly obvious, fairly quick. But the vampires, I have no clue. We don't know a lot about vampire organizations. Even these names are things that I've only ever heard. I don't really know the meaning behind them.
All right.
The Camarilla. But it sounds like from the way that Amy was talking about them, they probably don't give a fuck either. And considering what I saw last night, well, what Cassandra and I saw this on the way here, it reinforces that idea.
So, again, forgive me for being the bitch in this situation, but I know we all have people that we really like in all the different little supernatural pockets of the city. The normal people are the people that we need to be worried about more than anything.
Generally, I suspect that even insane hunters will try and minimize as much as they can, because getting found out is a quick way to get turned on even by the other hunter organizations. But there's only so much to do when psychos meet psychos.
And I'm guessing that they are not going to be keeping this to the outskirts of the city.
I don't think they will, no.
Yeah, I am not okay with that.
I'm sure the news day and night will spin it as a rise in gang violence. Do whatever they can to make it sound normal, but there's only so much to do when people are setting off explosions in the city.
Is it possible to minimize how many hunters show up? Like, do they have an idea of how many vampires there are, or could you give them like a false report that you have lead on like a cell of 2 or 3 that are doing this?
They would just question my ability to know what I'm doing. We're doing the best we can by trying to keep them focused on the vampires and not anybody else in the city. But if I say, hey, there's only a handful of vampires and there's a body count output that completely puts the lie to that, they'll start asking questions about what else I've been lying to them about.
Yeah, I don't know how viable this is. But it seems to me if we can... They're coming here for... The hunters are coming here because the vampires are here because of who the fuck knows or cares. Actually, I guess we should care, because that brings into what I'm going to say.
Finding out what the vampires are coming here for in the first place might be important.
But it seems to me, if you are the person in the middle of the gangbang, quickest way to put that into an end is make things as unappealing as possible, and then everybody goes away.
Not a bad plan.
What?
Maybe not a complete one.
The equivalent of the metaphorical equivalent of salt the earth. Except for, not actually salting the earth or exact real correlation, because that's the kind of permanent thing.
Right. Now, how are you suggesting, because I'm hearing a lot of metaphors, and how exactly are you suggesting we do that?
make this place more trouble than it's worth for them.
Yeah.
And off the top of my head, the easiest. How long until the Ashford people get here?
I'd give it days. I would say they'd be here definitely inside of a week.
And we have a week to kill off enough Sabat till they leave.
I'm sorry. Are you suggesting that?
Yes, I am. You got a better idea for protecting this city? Because I am all for it. I keep running this through my head, and everything that I keep coming up against, ultimately, it comes down to either we hide in our homes, which I've been very clear about my notion on that, or at some point we get involved and start making these people realize this is not the place they want to be. And it's going to be easier to do that when there's one target and not two.
I don't exactly know how we're going to be able to.
How
We need to talk to that we need to talk to that real estate agent and find out how we can help them.
What about the 9-foot tall killing machines?
I think. This is so touchy.
I understand this is not the easiest, but I keep running through scenarios in my head after scenario, and I cannot think of anything that ends up with this city surviving.
Joe's just taking notes on all this.
This is the only thing I can think of. Because once those two factions start going after each other, what do we do at that point? If we start trying to kill them, then it's just going to bring more of them to the city because they've committed resources to this.
Now, here's my question, and maybe you ought to answer this. But if we find a way to knock off the Sabbat, theoretically,
Mm-hmm.
are we really saying that is that going to take attention away from our city for all these hunters, or is that just going to give them another have them looking for another target?
At that point, it's going to have to fall on you, kid. You're going to have to do your most convincing that you can possibly convince to say, hey, look, all the vampires are dead. Go away.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm putting it out there.
Once I can prove to the network that we've got the situation under control, we can leverage our influence in the other organizations to tell them to fuck off. But as long as this still seems like a crisis situation, I won't be able to make them go away.
Okay. So I just want to point out, she said a week for them to be here. If we're planning on stopping them from getting here, we have 3-4 nights tops.
And that's where the second part of what I am going to suggest is.
Oh, don't you? Go on, Marlena.
We need to slow down these hunters. We need to briefly direct them to a bigger problem. I don't know necessarily how we do that.
What bigger problem are you talking about?
Some major flare up or something nearby enough that it is a major problem that they might have to deal with first.
I have a very specific target that I would like to send several hundred hunters after.
Who?
The bitch that kept the three of us. I know that's not possible.
That's not possible.
But I'm just saying.
No, understood.
I mean, help me out here and correct me if I'm wrong. But everything that's going on here right now, as I understand it, is still happening off the radar to most people, right?
Yeah, and we're trying to keep it that way.
What if, I don't know, what's a place that nobody's gonna give a shit about?
That's the problem. Somebody cares about everywhere on this fucking planet.
Sorry, to be clear,
anywhere in Kansas.
to be clear, anywhere that we don't give a shit about.
North Dakota.
I'm sorry, I am all for the notion of protecting the whole world. But right now, I am worried about what's mine.
I mean, I can't blame you there.
Like something like, I don't fucking know. What if something that, where are they coming from?
The Sabbat coming from Mexico, which
Right.
is another thing that is they've got to be here for a reason. They're a long way out of Mexico. Their supply lines are got to be thin. They've got to be here for something important.
Well, yeah, and that's fine. I don't think we're going to divert this. I'm
As
talking
far
about
as
the
where
hunters.
the hunters are coming from, they're coming from all around, like states in the vicinity. Like the Abbey and the Faithful, I think, are coming from Georgia. The Malleus coming from South Carolina.
How much of a fuck do we give about Birmingham?
Little to none.
Let's say theoretically,
Body in Birmingham.
I am not saying that this is the plan and this is what we do specifically. I'm not even saying it's possible. But let's say theoretically we were to, I don't know, capture one of these Sabbats. We drive them down to Birmingham and we kick them out of a van at noon on Main Street. Does that divert people when they catch on fire and it's caught by multiple people on camera?
I mean, that would certainly get somebody's attention.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying make something really public, really big that people that these hunters cannot ignore.
My only problem with that is then you run the risk of pulling the bigger organizations. I'm talking the government, Task Force Valkyrie, pulling their attention.
If they're in Alabama, I don't give a shit.
They won't stop.
I mean, sorry.
In the immediate, maybe not. But if they figure out who dropped that vampire off,
But make sure they don't figure out who dropped that vampire off.
Well, here's the thing. How you ever get? We couldn't even agree on how to drop my in-laws out of a plane without somebody knowing about it. What are you gonna do about a car?
It is real easy to buy an unmarked van. With the amount of money we have now, it is real easy to pay all cash for a vehicle that is not associated with any of us. And again, I'm not saying that specifically is the plan. Tossing a vampire out into the sunlight and in front of CNN headquarters or something like that.
That's in Atlanta.
I'm not opposed, right? Sure, but I'm not opposed to that idea. But my point is, we do something big enough, public enough, that whatever's going on here, it can wait because they need to go deal with this fucking shitstorm.
Well, we'll have to cast something that'll get all their attention bigger than this does, because we've got, like I said, Abby and Faithful coming out of Atlanta, the church coming out of Greenville, and the Aegis coming out of Indianapolis. They're coming from different directions.
All right.
No, I mean, to be fair, Greenville and Atlanta aren't that far different directions, but
Yeah.
still.
And they could, if it's big enough, they would still, in theory, divert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just has to be big enough.
And out of all four of the people that are coming down, the Aegis is the most reasonable, and they're the ones who would be diverting through. I can't believe I'm saying the Aegis is the most reasonable.
What if we just ask the vampires if a different city's having a problem with Sabat? And we use that city as the target.
I
Come
mean,
It's a
again.
major bot city.
I can't. I can't.
Sorry, this is the Jeremy of me imagining geopolitical aspects of a bunch of fuck up changelings from Tennessee completely altering the course of the Camarilla Sabat conflict.
well, there's some shit going down in New Orleans, so
Like,
They arrive at New Orleans just after all of it's done, and that's where we pick up back in the New Orleans.
they arrive
vampire
back
game
in
is-
New Orleans after everything is done, and Guire's like, a few more heads to take.
Mercy's like, I call the U-Haul.
I just imagine the
this.
coterie in New Orleans like, what the fuck is going on? What are these three rich fucks and their friends doing?
I am 100% down for establishing the Final Show film cinematic universe with like interlocking campaigns where what happens in this campaign affects the next one in the vampire game.
Please. That would be
I
amazing.
am already canonizing that they are all interconnected.
I mean,
thought
I'm
they
literally pulling some of my Hunter characters from the last Hunter game.
Those steps have been taken.
Yeah, Shawnee, I think you're gonna need to message me after the game. We have some things to discuss.
He's gonna send these hunters down to New Orleans.
The three of us are gonna work to the Final Show films.
God, this is gonna be amazing.
All right, so here's the thing. So I think we should. I feel like this is a bad idea, but I don't see how we're better going to do this. I think we should. We got two main goals here. If we go through with what I am suggesting, goal one, divert the hunters. Goal two, wipe out the Sabat. I think we should split off it to handle this.
And I'll put a caveat on goal one. You might divert the vast majority of them, but they're probably still going to send a couple of agents.
And that's fine. That's fine. That's good, actually. Because they come in here and then somebody can report, hey, all the Sabat are dead.
Yeah.
Then there's no reason for the rest of them to show up. So I think I can probably work.
Couple of agents is a lot better than a swarm.
Absolutely. I can work on the eliminating the Sabat because I will contact our real estate agent. I'm sorry, what is the name again?
Amy
Bradbury.
Amy, yes. Amy. Vampire real estate agent. I will contact Amy and I will see if I can get a conversation going with the Camarilla because I can talk to them and make sure that nothing bad's gonna happen out of that meeting. Yeah, I think you are the obvious. You should obviously be on the other side of this.
Out of distract, and I'm going to have to be involved.
You're gonna have to be involved with the with Project Distract Hunters.
I want to lead the charge when we start hunting.
Right.
Hunting Sabbat.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna look at Bologna. You think you could give me a few pointers?
Probably. I think all of you need some pointers.
You're not wrong.
So boot camp starts tomorrow then?
Additionally, by pointers, I don't just mean instruction and tips. I also mean as she reaches under her jacket and pulls off a belt full of wooden stakes.
Oh. So
I was just gonna blow the heads off with my shotgun, but
that works.
I don't know.
It
Works in the movies.
It can. The problem is they move real quick and are real tough. This keeps them still.
Then I probably shouldn't be trying to jam a piece of wood through the rib cage if they move real quick.
It depends.
If
they're coming at you, there's a point.
Meta-wise, Jackson has a strength of 1 and very little hand-to-hand combat skill. Jackson is not staking a fucking vampire.
Yeah,
None of you are ogres.
I'm not wanting of the two sides. I don't think I'd be very helpful with Sabbat. Quite honestly, I think I'd be much better at diversion. But if we're stabbing stuff, then okay, I'm all for it.
You do love your stabbing.
I do, and this is for a good cause. Stabbing for a good cause.
It's like stabbing for charity.
Quick rundown. Vampires are very different. They all have a bunch of different abilities and different things about them, but things that they all share. None of them like fire. That can be a good and a bad thing because it makes them panic and act crazy. Stakes to the heart paralyze them. Sunlight kills them.
Yeah.
All right.
It's fairly common that if hunters can manage to set up a situation where they can effectively stake a vampire, easiest way to deal with them is to leave them for the sun.
Pin them to the ground in a sunny spot.
Pretty much.
I'm not. And Joe's just going to close the book on, like, literally close the book where she's been taking notes. I'm going to keep up with this resource. I don't know where I can be helpful at this point, but I am going to make sure we keep a few things straight. And right now, what I can do is organize, and I can write, and I can take notes. And anything beyond that, I'm happy to learn.
I need to call Brarrows.
I can get a hold of Autumn Bright and get word spreading that from that direction too.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I also could use some sleep at some point.
I think sleep sounds like a good idea.
I will get you home and no, we're staying here tonight, right?
I believe
you
so.
To bed.
James, you heading up with me?
Yeah, I think I am.
I need the closeness right now. Don't want to be by myself.
Can't blame you. Good night, everybody.
Yep.
Night, y'all. We'll see you on the other side.
Cassandra is putting Tyr to bed, but going back downstairs.
Tyr passes out very quick. They seem to have been exhausted.
Jack isn't going to bed quite yet.
You're muted, Trevian.
I don't think I was muted. I was just quiet.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Frisian's also not going to bed quite yet. He'll probably shoot Autumn Fright a text to see if she's up and then like pace around the mansion.
So all I heard was shoot Autumn Fright. And I'm like, how?
This gun I found.
You send
Orbital strike.
That's a rod from God. You
That'll deal with the savant.
yeah.
We'll deal with a lot more than the spot.
All right, changelings into the hedge for a couple of minutes. Rod from God. Changelings come back out of the hedge.
Obviously, the changelings were the cause of the rod from God.
Autumn texts back relatively quickly. How can I help?
I'm not sure how. Like Frisian informs them of our loose plan at this moment, but it's like I don't know that we don't have the details ironed out to know what help is needed.
At the very least, I will start warning people who wish to hide or flee so that they may do so.
Yes. That text back that was most of the intent.
I will begin to send warnings.
And as like a probably not final text, but we'll also ask if she has a number for the keeper and the summer court.
I
can't remember her name.
provide contact information for the Morrigan, yes.
Okay.
And she sends you a phone number.
And we'll call the Morrigan.
So you are giving a phone call to the Morrigan. Cassandra?
She's going to text Briar Rose to see if she's awake.
You get a text back. Interesting timing, but what's up?
And then she will call Briar Rose.
The phone rings twice. And then picks up, and you just hear, no, shut up, honey. I'll finish you in a second. And then, yeah, what's up? And that's where we end for the week.
Nope.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.